and the transceiver, insert and tighten the 4 bolts. Fit the transceiver bracket on the front end of the boom arm. Insert and tighten the 4 bolts with flat washers and spring washers. Tighten the 4 bolts. To thread the RF cables through the boom, feed the outdoor ends of the cables through the boom in the direction of the transceiver. Leave about 1 meter of extra cable length between the boom arm and the transceiver. Connect the grounding wire to the transceiver and back bracket. To set the skew value, rotate the back bracket reflector assembly around the as-L skew plate assembly to set the skew value as indicated in the invoice. Tighten the 4 nuts holding the as-L skew plate assembly together. To set the nominal azimuth, ensure that the fine-tuning grid is set to 0. Mount the elevation offset arrow. Using a compass, point the dish according to the azimuth value provided in the invoice. Check elevation offset arrow. If arrow is not pointing to the center of the grid, modify the nominal elevation to compensate for the offset. The cable should be thread into the house. The hole should be drilled pointing down to prevent rain penetration into the wall. Cut excess cable. Expose the braid. Fold back the braid. Expose the center wire. Screw on the connectors. Connect the RF cables to the modem. Connect to the computer using the LAN cable. Connect the power supply and power up. Configure the computer LAN port as instructed in the user guide. To start the modem configuration, start your internet browser. Type sky.manage in the address field and press Enter. Enter the location and the RF cluster codes and click Next. In the dish pointing page, click Start Pointing. To lock onto the satellite, rotate the dish as slowly as possible around the nominal azimuth until the beeping tone changes, indicating that the modem is locked on the satellite. Lock is indicated by a 2-second transitional tone. Once the transceiver emits the lock tone, stop rotating the dish and tighten the nuts of the clamp. To start azimuth fine pointing, change the azimuth settings on the dish in a random direction until you can hear the audio indication reduced tone and staggering rate. Stop and reverse the direction. At some point, you should hear the pitch increase until you get a continuous tone. Continue in the same direction until staggering tone starts again. Stop and reverse direction once again. As soon as you hear the continuous tone, stop. To start elevation fine pointing, change the elevation settings until the audio tone indication drops in tone